The City of Prince George was awarded the 2015 Canada Winter Games, and as part of that we have committed to providing a certain level of facilities and a certain amount of very specific accommodations for the Winter Games. And as a result of that, we're doing a major enhancement project at the Kin Centres. Kin Centres are pretty old. There's a lot of needs that need to be done here, and one of the great news pieces is that everything is going to be fixed up in the Kin Centres with a major enhancement program. In order to work towards that, we've began a series of user group meetings, and I've gotten very in-depth in terms of the planning and the design and the ice use allocation.
Concept looks great, just a few issues for ourselves and that. I don't see any problems, any major problems. It's just minor things that need to be tweaked, but that's always something that you have to do and go through the process of finding those little things that need to be changed.
Some of the conclusions that we came up with is that as far as accommodating the user groups, they've come up with some really unique ideas, and working with city staff, we think that we can make it somewhat disruptive but not overly painful for most groups. And some of the ways that we're going to do that are by extending the season, and many of the groups are interested in starting a bit earlier in the season, maybe even finishing a bit later in the season, and we are certainly going to make that happen. We need to adjust some of the ice times, and obviously the people that use the Kin 1 facility will be moved to other locations. And that seems relatively doable. And we're also looking at moving some of the ice times, although thankfully for everybody, we're really not moving them much. So we may ask some groups to play as much as 30 minutes later than they normally play, but in most cases we're finding that we can stick within the existing timelines. Now, one of the ways that we're able to accommodate all this is by maximizing the way we book the CN Centre. So we're going to continue to have concerts, we're going to continue to have events all throughout the construction phase, but we're going to reverse the priority in the way that we normally book the CN Centre. Usually if we get a big concert announcement, we basically preempt all of the regular ice users and they have to clear out of the CN Centre, and in some cases for considerable periods of time. For example, if we did a motorcycle show or a rodeo or a curling event, we have to essentially reserve the CN Centre for 7, 10, even further days. So we have two strategies. Number one is we're going to reverse our priority system so that if we have an important ice needs weekend, for example a major tournament, or the minor hockey groups are having out-of-town teams coming to play, we're going to black out the CN Centre. In other words, we won't book any concerts that weekend, and we'll make the priority our regular ice users. We will also book the types of concerts that really only take one day to do a conversion. So a concert on one night, by the next morning we can have the arena ready to do hockey again. So we think by doing this we're going to free up an enormous amount of ice time at the CN Centre, and that really is the saving grace in how this is all going to work.
We are absolutely thrilled. We're very excited with the plans that are in place. I got to say that we're absolutely impressed with the way that the city is working their consultation process rather with all the different user groups. The communication is first rate. We have answers to our questions. Any of the questions that have not been answered yet, we're confident that those answers are coming. So we're willing to get in the game and plan our centennial, the 100th PGX in Prince George. At the same time, look forward to this amazing new Kin Centre and the complex and all of the different improvements that are going to be made. So it's going to be pretty fabulous.
While we still have several more user group meetings and consultations to take place, another piece of good news is that we've determined that by this Christmas, at the very latest, we will have everything completely finalized, including the construction phases and the consequences to the buildings of those construction phases. We'll have all of the user group accommodation plans signed, sealed, and delivered, so all the groups know what to expect during construction, and we'll also have the design of the facility completely done at that point.